Welcome back to another episode of the KarterKast. I'm your host, Karter Baughan. On today's show, we separate it into two pods. A little different today. We react to the first round of the college football playoff. Make sure that's part one. Part one, you're listening right now. Part one, college football playoff reaction. We don't preview the games. That'll be on Thursday. Part two, NFL reaction and recap and Christmas preview. We preview the Christmas games and Thursday Night Football. All that's on part two. Part one, college football. If you're listening on audio, make sure to tune into both parts. If you're watching on YouTube right now, tune in to the NFL part. That'll be on the YouTube channel. Hit that like and subscribe button. And also download SeatGeek. Use code KarterKast for $20 off your first purchase. Great show for you today. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. We're live. Sunday night, December 22nd. We're recording about 10 p.m. Eastern right now. Halftime of the Bucs-Cowboys game. We're starting the recording early tonight because guess what? Bucs-Cowboys game might not really matter in the grand scheme of things. So
it matters.
Let's be honest.
It matters.
It matters, not for the Cowboys. Cowboys are eliminated.
They're not eliminated.
They are eliminated.
I think they are now.
They got eliminated before the game.
Okay, I was going to say I saw a nice little in the hunt graphic at some point today or last night. Maybe it was last night. I can't remember. But, yeah, okay, so that's news to me. But this is Falcons lovers. We need a Cowboys win here.
Yeah, you do.
Can you call yourself a Falcons lover since Kirk's not the quarterback anymore?
That's what I was going to say. I'm kind of rooting on their downfall for getting rid of Kirk and benching Penix, which it brings me to an interesting point. Something that I wanted to bring up. Let's say I give you just two arbitrary numbers, random numbers, and I want you to tell me which quarterback you want starting for your NFL team, okay? Negative 0.01 EPA per dropback, negative 0.03 EPA per dropback. Which quarterback do you want?
Does one of them cost $200 million?
Close.
I'm going to have to go with the cheaper option then.
How many turnovers did the $200 million quarterback have in the last few weeks?
The $200 million quarterback has two more interceptions than the other one.
Okay.
Is this a Will Levis stat?
This is not a Will Levis stat. One, well, you guys haven't given me an answer yet. You would obviously want the person with the better EPA, right? For dropback?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. The one with the lower EPA is Kirk Cousins. The one with the lower is Geno Smith. The one with the better EPA is Kirk Cousins. And one guy is heralded as a gentleman that's leading his team to a playoff run, possibly the NFC West, and the other is getting benched for a rookie who has shown nothing in this league in the middle of a playoff race. And not to mention Kirk has, 8,000 times more experience than Michael Penix. So I wanted to throw out that hypothetical there. Because Geno, no one's really talking about benching Geno for Sam Howell, but they were willing to bench Kirk at the blink of an eye.
Well, maybe they should.
Sam Howell wasn't a first-round pick this year either, to be fair. Love Sam Howell, but...
So they're not risk-averse over there in Atlanta, huh? They're willing to assume that the risk of starting someone that has... I mean, you can say the national championship against Michigan was a big game, but they never stood a chance, so it's not like he's ever faced any adversity.
I'll tell you what, though, it was a nice planned move to start him against the Giants.
That was well calculated.
Yeah, Kirk would have gone out and had like 4 touchdowns and maybe 1 pick and been like, "Oh, Kirk's back."
Yep.
And do you know the defenses they play the last 3 weeks?
Oh, it's awful. Are the Patriots in there?
Commanders, and then I believe it's the Panthers. The last week of the season.
Yeah.
So and the Giants today, great teams to play against right now. Hey, Dylan, who's the third string quarterback in Seattle? Maybe they should bench Geno for that guy.
Who is the third string in Seattle?
Jaron Hall.
We're back.
We're back. Viking legend, right?
I feel like we were at this point last season, weren't we? With the
Vikings.
Vikings.
With the Vikings. Bench. It's time for Jaron Hall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a Sunday night Vikings game. We're like, we need Jaron Hall. And then it's like, Nick Mullins might be better. I don't know. This is looking rough. Oh, my goodness. NFL Part 2. If you didn't listen to college football, we talked about the college football playoff. We didn't preview the games. We talked about it. Go check it out. Great show. If you're listening to Part 2 right now in the NFL, let's do it. Here we go. NFL, we only got 2 more games left, fellas. 2 more weeks left of NFL. But what a week we have coming up. We'll preview the Christmas games, Thursday night game as well. Oh my gosh, man! Christmas Day, you're opening gifts, and you're like, you know what? I got some first touchdown bets to cash today. I got some anytime touchdown parlays to hit. I've got some unders to hit, Dylan. There you go. That gets a
On
tingle
Christmas
over there.
Day?
Merry Christmas,
Day
Dylan.
unders.
I will say, so we're not doing a Christmas episode. We didn't do any holiday episodes this year. It kind of makes me
my
sad.
Santa hat.
But I told Abby, Dad, and Jagan, who are all sharing this house with me, on Christmas Eve, normally you're excited, especially as a kid. You don't sleep. You got gifts coming up. At me and my family, we were not allowed to wake up until 4 a.m. But Jagan and I would wake up at like 2 and play video games. I will not be able to sleep Christmas Eve night because I will be so excited for Steelers-Chiefs. Just the fact that we get Steelers-Chiefs at 1 p.m. That's what I'm excited about on Christmas Day.
You get the Steelers as a dog at home too, Dylan.
Here's the problem, and we'll get into it. It's not the Chiefs aren't a field goal favorite or more. So I'm up a creek. I'm up a creek. What am I supposed to do?
Oh, Santa joined.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Bring in
First
the
touchdown.
Merry Christmas spirit, Carter. There you go.
Yeah.
Santa, who's your ho 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 from Week 16 of the NFL?
Ho, ho, ho. Week 16 from the NFL. Personal Carter ho ho or Santa ho ho?
Santa.
Santa. I was hoping you'd ask Carter. We'd gotten into
Carter.
a 40-minute Panther podcast.
I changed your mind, Carter.
Oh, Bryce Young. It has to be Bryce Young. Oh, my gosh. This guy's legit. He ended the Cardinals. This guy's the Grim Reaper. This guy's killing careers. Oh, Kyler Murray down. Derek Carr, where is he at now? He's basically gone from the NFL. Daniel Jones had to leave. Yeah, Daniel Jones had to leave his team. He got kicked out of the city of New York because he couldn't handle Bryce Young, Dylan. This guy.
Is there any worries about the astonishingly low 6.3 average depth of target?
Oh my gosh, Dylan, you're exposing yourself. You didn't watch.
You're the
game.
Grinch. You're the Grinch.
You didn't watch
Dylan.
the game.
Come on, we're bringing Christmas.
I'm just
joy.
saying, at 6.3, that's purple on the chart. That's no good.
Someone's
Bryce
not
Young,
watching
6'3"?
the games.
My dreams have become true. Bryce Young 6'3".
That was good. That was good.
Yeah.
No, Santa ho ho ho. The Commanders. How in the world did they win that game today?
Well,
are
Jalen
you
Hurts got
kidding
hurt,
me?
that's how.
I understand. Oh, is this an Eagles mwahaha? Okay. Oh my gosh! If you're an Eagles fan listening, I would want to punch a wall.
Oh
right
no.
now.
Yeah.
But if the Commanders Eagles, how? I understand Jalen Hurts got hurt. They still had the lead. They were still murdering them on the ground. I mean, I don't understand the turnover margin. Everything in that game, the Eagles should have won, and they still somehow choked that game.
Was it 5 turnovers for Washington? They still ended up winning the game.
5-1.
I think it was 5. Yeah, that's
5-1
ridiculous.
turnover margin, and they still won that game.
Jaden.
Christmas came early for the Washington Commanders. I think they clinched a playoff spot with that win today. So congrats to them. The Eagles, it's scary hours for if Jalen Hurts is out multiple weeks and if he's out for any time in the playoffs.
They'll be fine. He's not.
Can I go hot?
If he,
Go ahead. Yeah. I mean, I'm giving him a couple weeks out. They have a 7% chance, I think, is what Next Gen said, to get the 1 seed. And I think at this point, that's really what you're playing for. Have they locked up the NFC East?
Well, they play the Cowboys and the Giants the next 2 weeks. Yes, they've locked up the division, I'm pretty sure. So
and Kenny Pickett, not awful. Didn't look awful. I mean, he was serviceable. I think against the next 2 teams they play, it's not going to be too bad. Now,
it raises the question: do you just bench your players the next 2 weeks then if you're Philadelphia? Because the
one
one
you have to
gone.
get the division.
But then the committee could decide to not put you in the playoffs because you're not the better team. Just kidding.
This isn't a flawed system. The NFL
Their
does it
quarterback's
right. out.
Cut him. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah. They don't have their starting
Hurts
quarterback.
is out. Take him out. Welcome to the playoffs, Dallas.
The fact that we're going to be talking about Lions versus Vikings for the number 1 seed in the NFC and for the division probably in 2 weeks if the Vikings can pull it out against the Packers and the Lions can pull it out against the Niners. I mean, who would have saw that coming before the season? Even halfway through the season, Dylan was saying the Vikings were frauds.
Which I've retracted.
Are they Super Bowl contenders? Not challengers. Are they contenders?
Yeah, I'll give him contender status.
Connor, you were low on him.
That offense has looked really good.
And the defense is very niche, right? In my opinion, the defense is very niche, but they do enough to get it done. Quite literally, boomer bust with the Vikings defense, but they have like a 24% chance of getting the 1 seed, and that's not anything. My playoff best ball drafts will be screwed if they get the 1 seed, because almost every single one of my team has any combination of Darnold, Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones.
I know, and they
can't get the 1 seed.
They might be playing against that Swiss cheese Falcons defense.
Yeah, we need Kirk back. Kirk back for that game. Yeah, we don't. Anyway, what was I going to say? We were talking about Vikings.
Ho, ho, ho. Christmas came early.
Commanders.
Cannot wait to bet against them in the playoffs.
There you go.
I'm just salivating. Salivating. I spent a couple hours at my aunt's house with this adorable dog that was slobbering. That's what I'm like right now, just waiting to bet on the Commanders in the playoffs.
So, because they're going to play the Eagles most likely, right? It's Eagles, or it has to be the Eagles at this point, right? Unless the Commanders can jump the Packers.
Yeah, I think you're right. Either way,
if we're getting that rematch, it's a barbecue chicken for the Eagles.
I think so too. I do think Jaden Daniels locked up Offensive Rookie of the Year this week, though. I don't think there's a question anymore. Bo Nix has had a good year, but
Brock Bowers. Different. I understand the contents of the award.
And Bowers should be too.
He quietly had a pretty good game today. The problem is the Raiders are just bad. Like
you're just so irrelevant. Yeah.
But the problem is Bo Nix is not. He should be third on that list. Brock Bowers has been so freaking good.
I would agree with that.
Has Brock Bowers been the best tight end in football? Like, no question, right?
He has probably been the most consistent. Yeah, I think so. Because Kelsey's had a down year. Andrews is inconsistent. Too. Kittle, yeah. Who else is there? Kyle Pitts.
Johnny Smith has put together.
True.
Put together a good couple weeks, but I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough to go counteract what Brock's done all year.
Guys. Kyle Pitts is getting cold for Christmas. He's getting cold for Christmas after today.
That should have been the segment. You guys name a player. I'll tell you if they're getting coal or presents for Christmas.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it, Santa.
Hey, lock in.
Real quick. Where should I put the top? In front?
It's like, I think you start it on this side, and then it's like a graduation where once we're done, you move it over. Yeah, once you're done, you move it over. I'll start with Kirk Cousins.
It's a little flaccid up top, so you know.
Oh, okay. What? Kirk Cousins.
Naughty or nice?
Naughty or nice?
Naughty. That you would think Kirk Cousins nice on the nice list. This guy's doing some dirty stuff. This guy's getting coal for Christmas. But I guess it's going to be nice because he's going to get paid out his contract, all this guaranteed money, and he's not going to have to play football.
The only reason that he's on your naughty list is because of recency bias. Because if we were asking this question in week 4, he'd be on your nice list.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to be good for you.
Forget what he did against the Eagles.
If you want presents, you got to be good to week 16, 17. You know, you got to be good.
What you tell your kids.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that if it was flipped and he started off poorly and he started playing well now, that he would be on your naughty list?
Perception would be very different. No,
it's the whole season.
You're Santa.
Might have tricked you.
I think you put Santa a pretzel.
I love it.
Forget cookies. Pretzel for Santa.
Jim Harbaugh.
Oh,
John Harbaugh. Jim.
Oh, Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh. Nice. He turned the Chargers around. This guy deserves all the presents in the world. This guy's bringing fans into SoFi Stadium. They're not getting overrun by opposing fans. They're going to make the playoffs. They could potentially make a fun little playoff run. Absolutely. The fact that they won that Thursday night game, I know that felt like 10 years ago. The fact they won that Thursday night game was so impressive, and it really changes your perception about not really change, but it kind of decides, okay, we know what the Broncos are going to be going into the playoffs, and we know what the Chargers are going into the playoffs, because we know the ceiling of the Broncos at this point.
Bryce Young, naughty or nice, Carter?
Oh, my God.
Especially after today.
Oh,
let me give him a moment.
The nicest. Oh, my goodness.
First stop on your sleigh ride.
Bryce Young. Oh, my goodness. This guy is a franchise quarterback. And you can say, oh, the average depth of target wasn't great. Box score Billy over here, not watching the games. This man is throwing darts. Receivers are dropping balls left and right. Doesn't matter. Goes out and destroys the hopes of the Arizona Cardinals to make the playoffs. He has a phenomenal game. Chuba Hubbard has a great game. David Tepper is doing his best. He doesn't get it this year, but next year, David Tepper might not be getting coal in his stock.
Oh, does Bryce Young get the title of best quarterback under 5'10" now after beating Kyler?
He's, I don't know if you check the draft profile. He's not 5'10". He's 5'11".
Does Bryce Young get the award for best quarterback under 6 foot after beating Kyler Murray?
So
Bryce Young might have lied about his height.
If he's on the nice list, what does he get for Christmas? A ladder? A bunch of pairs of socks to wear on his cleats and like size 15 shoes?
No, a wide receiver that can catch a damn ball. Oh my God!
Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
Is Adam Thielen on the nice list?
Yes. Carter, yes, he is. Come on.
Jury's still out. We gotta wait. Or that's a game time decision on Christmas. I'll be ho-ho-hoing by his house on the sleigh. And it'll be a game time decision if a present gets thrown his way or some coals in the stocking because I don't know about that one. Will Levis, extremely naughty. Oh my gosh, he's getting a whole lump of coal in his stocking.
You kick a man while he's down, huh? Dude's injured. You're going to kick him while he's down.
No, he got benched, buddy.
I would check the injury. I would implore you to check the injury, just like you're checking the naughty and the nice list. Santa, why don't you check the injury report?
He got benched. And also, he's getting tapes leaked. Apparently,
this is all of a sudden your
personal
guy gets
attacks.
All of a sudden your guy Rudolph gets put in at quarterback, and you're putting Levis on the naughty list.
Yeah, Rudolph.
Just because he saved you one year doesn't mean anything.
Isn't Mason Rudolph the whole story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer this season with the Titans?
He rallied back from getting hit in the helmet by Myles Garrett with another helmet.
He rallied them back
to save Christmas.
He rallied them back to get the number 3 overall pick so they can get a new quarterback in Tennessee.
We need a new name. You call Dylan a box score, Billy. We need something else. Like, Dylan, you're a PFF Polly or a PFF Pete or something like that.
I'm just looking at these drop rates amongst wide receivers, and I don't see a single.
The joke writes itself.
I don't see a single Panther on here at the top of this list.
It's crazy. You give Connor and I all this grift. You're like, you're not watching games. Oh, you don't want to watch games on your birthday. You're not watching games in the car. But I think we're just getting, a little box score over here.
That's interesting. Xavier Legette is at the top of the list for the Panthers. He played today, right? No. Oh, wait, no. He okay. So maybe, okay, let me keep looking. Sorry.
Xavier Legette, that guy, man. Oh, my goodness.
He might be in the playoffs.
He might be getting coal in his stocking.
That's a good little segment. Any stragglers, Santa?
Get him some asparagus.
That sounded like a Shaquille O'Neal impression.
We're going to get reported.
Demonetized.
Yeah.
This video's members only on YouTube.
Subscribe for our premium content here on the cast.
You get Dylan Xavier Legette impersonation.
Unblurred content on the cast.
The last thing I'll mention about the Panthers and everything about that is Panthers fans got so much crap at the beginning of the season because of the trade and everything. They're both sitting at 4-11, so this is Andrew Bynum, Dwight Howard trade all over again, so I don't want to hear it from Bears fans.
Who would you rather be going? Who would you rather be going forward? Bears, Panthers.
The tune changes every time. Every week, the tune changes. We'll see.
No, it doesn't.
It does. Yeah.
When Bryce was out, When Bryce was out, Jury was still out.
Yeah. Okay. Never wrong. Never wrong. Just early, right?
Dylan.
Come on, Santa. Do better.
Bryce Young, you've been a very good boy this year. You get another Ian Thomas contract extension for your president this year.
I did see him on the drop list. I was going to say something. I was going to say something. Drop list.
I was gonna say something that was gonna get us demonetized, but we'll keep the show going.
In the spirit of Christmas, keep going.
We'll keep those triple zeros.
Talking about games that actually really quick. We'll go quickly through some of these. Lions, Bears. Speaking of the Bears a little bit. Oh my gosh, this Bears team this Lions team, everybody's out. They're like the SpongeBob hospital right now. Everybody's in the hospital with casts on and everything. Did not matter. The Bears couldn't do anything against them, and the Lions just worked them.
every morning I break my arms, and every night I break my legs.
The Lions
have glass bones and paper skin.
I have glass bones and paper skin.
Dylan, does today make you? We talked about the Lions, and we're a little worried about their defense going into the playoffs and everything. Does today change your perception at all about the Lions going into the playoffs with their depleted defense?
No. Like I honestly was never too worried about the Lions, especially on offense. Even losing David Montgomery, like that. The bigger issues are on defense, which is what you asked. But I don't know, and maybe this is just small brain football coming out. But Dan Campbell has the boys rolling. This little fumble play they're running. You got Ben Johnson in his bag. Like there are going to be opportunities to make up for the injuries, and I understand once you get to the playoffs. It's a one-and-done situation. You can't afford to drop these games. But it just feels like they were still able to hold Chicago to 17. Granted, it was outdoors, not great weather. I think just cold. But no, to be honest, I'm not worried. And this Lions-Vikings game, Week 18, is going to be popcorn. It is going to be appointment TV. It's going to be awesome.
I cannot wait for that game. Cannot wait for that game because – that game alone, whatever happens in that spot, whether it determines the number one overall seed or not in the NFC, that determines whether we think each team's a Super Bowl contender or not, right?
Yeah.
Because really, you think if the Lions are the 5 seed, you still think they're a legit Super Bowl contender? Because I think that makes their path so much more difficult.
It makes their path more difficult, but like if it's a one possession
game. Let me
game,
rephrase that. That's fair because they are a Super Bowl contender at that point, Super Bowl favorite at that point. Because I feel like the Vikings might turn into the Super Bowl favorite if they end up getting the number 1 seed.
It might depend on how that game goes.
I can't see it.
If the Vikings look dominant that whole game, beat them by 2 possessions, maybe.
What if they look equal?
Then I don't think so.
Really?
I don't either.
Yeah. It would depend on even with the layout too.
Even with that number 1 seed, because there's a world where you're going to end up seeing the Lions play the Rams in the first round again. Are you 100% confident that the Lions will beat the Rams?
Oh, Mike, this is just a trade that worked out for both teams. Matt Stafford, man, look at him. Oh, my gosh. Jared Goff, such a winner. Just great from L.A. to Detroit. Do you know they were traded for each other, Mike?
Chris Collinsworth, nice list.
Yeah, I love Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have great commentators in football.
I think we're spoiled. You know, that's true because any random red zone update or any random game I turn on for Sunday Ticket, it's like, oh, yeah, I love Kevin Harlan announcing football. It's like, oh, my gosh, yeah, Collinsworth Sunday night. Oh, I love it, yeah.
There are a few I'm like, I could do without, though. Like
but
Jonathan Vilma.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
But when you have
16, son of a...
when you have 16 games, though, and the majority of them are good, yeah, I think we're pretty spoiled.
Oh, yeah, especially the primetime guys. I mean, I don't even think Brady's been that bad, to be honest.
Oh.
It's not like...
He's gotten better.
He's gotten better.
But he's not the worst like commentator out there. Out of the primetime guys, he is, but that's tough competition, man.
I thought
these guys are good.
He did a good job this
I
weekend.
even think Al Michaels and Kirk are fine. I like
Al
Kirk.
Michaels' voice is just soothing.
It's
just like nostalgic. Even if he has no energy, it's like, how's not? Let's listen to this guy. We can keep rolling though.
And also, they're Thursday night football games. You know, like they kind of deserve Al Michaels' enthusiasm.
70-some points scored last Thursday, but yeah.
Hey!
Halfback dive, 10-yard loss, Dylan.
Had that
it's been a rough year, boys.
Had that under
guys. It's been rough. Kick me while I'm down. I'm muting the group chat.
Naughty or nice, Carter. Dylan Wilkerson. Cole?
I'm muting the group chat. Remember all those clips I edited? Remember those clips I edited from week 10 to 14?
You never gave me a chance to answer. I said nice.
Thank you.
Of course I would say nice. You're getting a nice little first touchdown play on Wednesday.
Carter, you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
We're all gonna lose money on a first touchdown play on Wednesday. I cannot wait for it.
Naughty Titans run defense. What the hell is that, Dylan?
I knew it was coming. I played Jonathan Taylor in just about every single one of my lineups. And shout out Anthony Richardson.
Real quick, I want to do this super briefly. I'll start with you, Connor, and then Dylan, I want to hear your answer as well. Rank your Super Bowl favorites in order in the NFC. On the spot.
Philadelphia Eagles 1, Lions 2, Vikings 3.
Packers 4.
Packers 4. And then I guess we can go
Fives in any order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the top
Dylan,
4, though.
what's yours?
Lions, Vikings, Packers,
Stop.
Eagles.
You're telling me the Eagles with a healthy Jalen Hurts aren't at least in your top 2 contending in the NFC? Come on. Give me a break.
Head coach. That's what I'm going to point out right there.
Oh, my gosh.
Head coach. Head coach.
I'm going Lions, Vikings, Eagles, Packers.
That's fine.
And then
I'll be alone.
You're not alone. You got Mark and Philly, Connor. You're not alone.
Shout out Mark. He'll be on my side.
You're not alone.
He'll be on your side. He loves you. Anyhow, I thought that was interesting going into that. But, Jonathan Taylor, just willing people into their fantasy semis and play championships today.
Yeah,
so.
and Keenan Allen.
Oh, my gosh, Keenan Allen.
Took me out to the woodshed.
The Bengals keep winning meaningless football games.
Not meaningless.
Giants, it's meaningless, let's be honest.
Not official.
It's even Joe Burrow said when they beat the Cowboys, he was like, "Yeah, it doesn't feel great. It's pretty pointless."
Okay,
so
that's a character issue we need to address. But
Giants Falcons, people are going to look at this game and go, "Oh wow, Michael Penix, that was the right move starting him over Kirk Cousins." Michael Penix wasn't that impressive in that game.
Drew Lock was a better quarterback for the Falcons than Michael Penix.
Facts.
That's
a great
point.
point.
Serious.
That's a great point. He was. My goodness, the Giants officially the worst team in football.
Somebody
up
in
the
this,
1 seed.
Somebody in this Riverside call bet the Giants have the worst record, 11-1 preseason, looking kind of good right now.
This person also said the Buccaneers would also probably have one of the worst records in the NFL.
We're only going to highlight the wins on this podcast. We don't need to. Get into all the losses.
I'm bummed. My Saints. I had Saints to have the worst record in football. I'm bummed that didn't work out. I had everything went my way. Derek Carr is out for the season. Dennis Allen gets fired. I was like, oh, this is all shaping up to be
Actually, the
perfect.
worst thing that could have happened. Dennis Allen needed to stay the coach for you to hit that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you got me there. Yeah, I'm getting got on this episode.
Santa's in a pretzel.
Rams get a big win over the Jets. Did not look very convincing or impressive, but they get the win over the Jets. That's all that matters. Defense held a team under 10 points. Holy crap, Dylan, you love holding teams under 10 points.
I love it. Yeah, that was one of my favorite games of the slate.
That was. Do we believe the Rams have any shot at making a run in the playoffs?
What's making a run?
NFC title game.
No.
I think they can win a game.
You don't think they can win 2 games?
I don't.
You don't think they can win 2 games?
That defense. Like, they played good today against the Jets, but yeah.
Jets are dead. Yeah. Jets are dead. Someone's worrying about a documentary. Patriots, Bills, Patriots, frisky once again. That 14-point spread was free money, Dylan.
Yeah, I didn't bet it.
Oh,
so that just tells you where we've been.
Dylan, we talked about that. That was the one thing we agreed on. We were like, Patriots. You even said on the podcast, you're like, Patriots plus 14, lock it in, and this game's going to be close. When it's like a 3-point game, you're going to remember this. Let me know. Clip it, Dylan Wilkerson. And you still didn't bet it.
When you said you agreed with it, it scared me.
And that's why you're losing so much.
And I stopped.
That's ridiculous.
I stopped. Yeah.
Dolphins, Niners, another meaningless football game.
Not meaningless. You're calling games meaningless when teams are playing for their playoff lives.
Headlines: Dolphins keep playoff hopes alive. Come on, guys.
Yeah, that's me. Carter, come on. Carter, scrub that from the final cut, please. This game didn't mean anything.
The game didn't mean anything.
This game didn't mean a thing.
Game didn't mean a thing. Jags Raiders, did that game mean anything besides NFL draft implications?
I had a lot of Brock Bowers and Brian Thomas stock this game.
Brian Thomas, beast.
Brian Thomas
beast.
Won me up.
Beast. He's becoming an auto play.
You won me a nice little parlay today. I'll just
Brian Thomas, 4.5 touchdowns for a season-long bet. Easiest money I've ever made.
What's he at?
Like 8 or 9.
I was about to say that's incredible.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's an incredible number. Bryce Young, I have Bryce Young to have 5 rushing touchdowns on the season. That's somehow alive.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
Mobile guy.
I know. Dylan, you what is? Do you hate Bryce Young? Just
there's a little hostility in here.
I don't mind him.
He's feeding to go to the hot tub.
Yeah, the hot tub's calling my name.
We got to preview
Hot
some
tub's
games
calling your
here.
name. Hot tub's calling
And
your
news
name.
and notes.
Oh, we do
News
need
and
news
notes.
and notes.
Let's do news and notes real quick.
Wait. Last game you didn't mention. Vikings Seahawks.
Oh,
Gino.
I thought we touched on that. I did. Yeah, Gino.
Gino can't
Holy
help
Gino.
himself. He can't help himself.
We did touch on this game because we all decided we would want Kirk over Gino.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. I got
right, there you
confused. But
yeah.
Yikes. Other question, real quick. Going back, this is if you were listening about a little over a year and a half, like 14 months ago or something, you'll
Shout
remember
out
this.
to you, first of all.
Yeah.
Shout out to you if you're there. Shout out Luke Gray. I know my guy was listening about
Oh, yeah,
14,
he was.
15 months ago. Merry Christmas, Luke. Anyhow, would you rather have Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy? Connor.
I can't believe we're back here. Time is a flat circle.
Never late, just early.
This year, Sam Darnold. You have to go Sam Darnold. And I know with the Niners, there's been injuries, and it's been a year from hell with Purdy, whatever. I'm not out on Brock Purdy, but Sam Darnold has looked so good this year. I'd rather have him leading my team into the playoffs for this season.
Dylan, what did they say about Galileo?
They wanted him dead. They called him crazy when he said the earth revolved around the sun. The Catholic Church wanted that man killed.
They called me crazy. Niners fans had comments and DMs saying I should have my tires slashed for saying Sam Darnold is a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. Niners fans would beg. They would beg for Sam Darnold at this point. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold is out there with a 2-loss team fighting for the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. What is Brock Purdy doing right now? Buddy's going to be in Cancun in 2 weeks. That's what he's
Playing
gonna be
meaningless
doing.
football games according to Santa Claus. That's what Brock
Meaningless
Purdy's
football.
doing. I think
Dylan,
as a
Darnold or
pundit,
Purdy? Come on, Dylan.
you're catching me on the spot here. I'd have to analyze the situation in a vacuum.
The
and look at
numbers
the
would
stats.
incline me to say Sam Darnold, but it is equivalently close.
I would lean Sam Darnold, but he has the top 3 wide receiver. He has one of the best offensive lines, and Brock Purdy has been to the Super Bowl. And this year, just the tools around him have been banged up. So we're looking at a situation where it's very possible they're both on the same skill level. It's just a matter of what you
That's
put
probably
around
the right
them.
answer.
That's the funniest answers. They're the same.
It's the same
You're
guy.
right,
Carbon copy.
I love it.
I was gonna. Oh, the commenters. Never mind. Keep going. This joke's not funny anymore now that we're removed from it.
Okay, that's fine.
News and notes? Question mark?
Real quick before news and notes, I wanted to do this game with you real quick, and then we can move on. Who would you rather be? We did this earlier in the season. It's like, which situation is worse, the Giants or the Panthers? Ended up being probably the Giants. I think I said the Panthers at the time, maybe. I can't remember. But anyhow, that was back then. We're here now. Connor, what's the worst situation in football?
Worst situation in football? That's tough because you got to factor in like draft capital, draft position, all that kind of thing. I mean, I'm inclined to say the New York Giants, or I'm inclined to say the Las Vegas Raiders. I guess Las Vegas Raiders, because what's your bright spot? You have Brock Bowers, but you look at the quarterback situation, it's grim. You've got 3 guys on that roster, Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, and Desmond Ridder, that probably wouldn't start on 30 other teams in this league. So I think
you got a head coach you're probably not that pumped about.
Exactly. And how many coaches are they still paying? I think my answer is the Raiders.
Am I crazy to think the New Orleans Saints are the worst situation in football?
No, that's not crazy at all.
Aren't they in a really bad cap space? I will hand up. I'm not the first one to know about contracts and everything, but aren't they in an awful cap space situation?
They're in cap hell. They don't have a head coach. They're not going to get a good enough draft pick to get a franchise quarterback this next year. A lot of their guys are on the older side. You got Alvin Kamara and other guys.
Just extended.
Yeah.
Are they the worst situation in football? Because at least the Giants are going to get their franchise quarterback in the offseason. They're resetting. They have direction. You talk about no man's land with some of these teams. I think it would be the New Orleans Saints, right?
What about the Browns that are locked into this Deshaun Watson contract?
That puts them in cap hell for sure, but they're also bad enough to where they'll be in a position to get a quarterback.
And they have pieces, especially like Myles Garrett. That's an elite piece that some of these other teams, like
And
I
I
guess Vegas
still
has Max
think-
Crosby still.
I still think Stefanski's a good coach.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
agree with that. I don't think that's crazy.
That's true.
As boring as that
The
is.
Saints is a good answer. The Saints is a good answer. Is yours the Browns, Dylan?
No. Okay. I'm going to expose myself here. I'm not a firm believer that not having a top draft pick means you're in trouble. Like what is, and this is actually a question I had in news and notes. What is the hit rate on having a top draft pick and it actually panning out? I feel like we see more guys come out of the third or fourth round that end up being good players than the first round. Am I crazy there?
A little crazy, but you're not crazy, especially at the quarterback position. But also, a lot of these teams just don't have direction. Like the Saints, where do they go next year? Where is the direction you go for the next 4 to 5 years from now?
Is it crazy to think that if Derek Carr doesn't get injured, I don't think their situation is that bad? I don't think they have that
I
bad
think
of a
it's
season.
awful.
I think it's still meh. Maybe it's meh instead of bad, but I
still
wouldn't
think
feel
it's
excited.
terrible. Like, are you that excited about Derek Carr? What is your ceiling with Derek Carr? Maybe if you're lucky, winning the NFC South. But even if he's healthy, you're probably not winning the NFC South.
But
and even
that
if you win the
leads us-
NFC South, do you win a playoff game? No.
That leads us to the question, though, how many quarterbacks are in the league right now that can win you a playoff game? If you were to trust them to win a playoff game, how many quarterbacks are there?
It's not just the quarterback position, though. It's everything around it as well, because it's the head coach part of it. And we don't have to get into the cap stuff, because the NFL cap is the most impossible thing to understand, because all of a sudden
Calculus. Do with your time. Yeah.
the Chiefs can sign everyone, but then all of a sudden the Saints can't sign a mascot. Like, what are we doing?
The Chiefs sign everybody, but they're not.
They're not on these long-term deals and everything, but Mahomes is getting $500 bajillion, as Connor once said, but then it's
backloaded contracts. So
it's backloaded like Shohei Ohtani. So none of that. I get confused with any of that. How about we compare it team to team to make things a little easier?
Okay.
Would you rather be the Arizona Cardinals or the Carolina Panthers?
I would try to get some Miracle Grow in both those organizations. I would be sprinkling Miracle Grow in Kyler and Bryce's food.
Look, this is tough because you factor in all the money Kyler's getting paid and the lack of results. It's like, yeah, he's exciting, but is Kyler Murray going to win you a playoff game? Do you really believe that in your heart in an NFC conference that's been pretty damn good recently? I think
a big old extension too.
Yes, they have Marvin Harrison Jr. He's been kind of disappointing. I'm going to go the Panthers, and that's probably a homer pick. But the way Bryce Young has looked, I think there is at least a direction, some building blocks for the next couple of years, especially while he's on rookie deal.
Ohio State player hasn't panned out? That's odd.
What about Jackson Smith and Jigba?
What, wide receiver 3?
The best wide receiver on that roster. He is not wide receiver 3. Oh, on PFF, he puts him in the slot, so therefore...
I got a hot tub calling my name.
Yeah, you got a hot tub calling your name?
We're going on an hour and a half here.
Oh, don't act like you're not having fun.
I'm having a blast. I am having a good time. I am having a good time. I'm having a good time.
Let me do one more. Let's do one more comparison, and we'll move on.
Okay.
Would you rather be the San Francisco 49ers or the Los Angeles Chargers?
Oh, Chargers. Who's got it better than us? Nobody.
Okay, is that the number one factor? Coaching. You
Yes.
like Harbaugh that much more than
It's
Shanahan?
you got to revolve everything. You got the talent, because if the Niners are healthy, they're a Super Bowl roster right there.
I think the Chargers have found a way to do the most with what little they have, and the 49ers have done the least with what they have, as good of talent as they have.
And I'm going to agree with that and say the Chargers as well, because I trust Justin Herbert more than I do Brock Purdy to elevate the pieces around him. When Brock Purdy has great weapons and in a great situation, Brock Purdy's great. Justin Herbert's dealt like, oh, here's Josh Palmer and Quentin Johnson and Will Dissly and Ladd McConkey as your receiving core, and they're still pretty good. So I think Justin Herbert elevates the guys around him more than Purdy does, and I think that is important moving towards the future, and I do like Jim Harbaugh, so I like the Chargers.
All right, I got one. This
Even
may
though that
be
run
dumb.
game is without Dobbins.
This may be dumb, but we'll go with it. Would you rather be the New York Jets or the New York Giants?
New York Jets. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall.
Garrett Wilson's kind of.
He's not too happy.
I was about to
Ohio
say,
State guy.
We might be seeing a Garrett Wilson trade in the offseason. Aaron Rodgers, I would be shocked if he's a Jet next season.
Okay, but just in terms of talent on the roster, young talent on the roster,
but looking
right
towards the
Jets.
future too.
No,
Giants.
I can't be like, oh, Shedeur Sanders is going to be a Giant, so they're going to be great moving forward. Like I can't. We're not. I don't want to.
Cam Ward. You do like Cam
Jets.
Ward,
But you take the probability of the number 1 draft pick panning
actually
out
working,
and then multiply that by the talent that the Jets have, and you have to decide what situation is better. Like, are you? I think I would go Giants, to be honest with you.
Really? For what reason? Neighbors is great, but other than that,
I think that D line can be elite.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they have the number 1 draft pick if they decide to lose the rest of their games, or they do lose the rest of their games. I'm not a big tanking guy, you know that, but I think that's what it is for me. Is like the outlook is positive. You make a great point about the D line, Dexter Lawrence. There's some bright spots
Burns.
there. Now, again, I don't know the cap space situation for both of these teams. That would play a part too. Yeah. But
last one, I can't quit. This is fun. The New England Patriots or the Dallas Cowboys.
I think
Who
Cowboys.
would you rather be?
I think it's Cowboys.
I think it's pretty freaking close.
it is a very close question, and I love Drake May, but I think the right answer is the Cowboys because of talent that they have locked up under contract for the next few years, and just they will always be in that conversation with those guys.
Can I also with the Cowboys? What's the solution? Like Dak has been out, and they're still 6-8. Like I understand it's not great, but you'd expect it to be worse. You're a wide receiver 2 away from probably having a complete team if Dowdle continues the production he's been producing. That kind of sounds silly, but yeah, I think the Cowboys is the answer here.
I think so too.
Mike McCarthy is going to get so much crap too, and he's. I don't think. Yeah, he really shouldn't. I think it's a fine coaching situation.
This team might finish 9-8.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. As of right now, it's looking like it.
And I love Drake May, but if you really look at the Patriots, it's Drake May. You got Christian Gonzalez as exciting on defense, and then it's what? Like what else after that do they have?
You got Jared Mayo, who's a little. He's not great with his words in press conferences,
and he's not
great at the coaching part either.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he's going to be coaching on the sidelines next season for Drake May. How much money do you think they offer Ben Johnson?
I don't think they move on from Mayo.
Do you think Ben Johnson?
I don't think so either.
How much money can Ben Johnson demand from all of these teams needing new head coaches?
A lot.
Like 15, 20 mil?
Good answer. Yeah, a lot.
A lot of money.
Good amount of money.
All right, that's it. That's the point to move on. That's the point to move on. Hawaii Bowl preview, Christmas Eve, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We got South Florida versus San Jose State.
That's the member. That's the stuff you gotta be a member for. If you want the bowl previews, membership.
DM us. We'll get you in touch with the right people.
Yeah, that definitely exists.
Chiefs Steelers. This
News
is a
and notes?
Dylan Wilkerson. Oh, news and notes. I'm sorry, Dylan. That's on me.
We'll breeze through. We don't have to touch on a lot of these. News and notes, Week 17. Red Zone is no longer offering commercial-free football. It is now 7 hours of Red Zone football. Now, I don't want to speak for the show. I love advertisers. What do we feel about Red Zone no longer being commercial-free?
Sold out.
I don't care.
Just like everyone does. Everyone eventually sells out. There's always a number. There's always a price.
Are there any issues of the fact that you are paying for extra for this product? This isn't included with your cable package or your YouTube TV package. You have to pay either the $15 for NFL Pro, you have to pay for Sunday Ticket, and now you're getting ads.
And is it a little coincidental that YouTube TV just raises their prices and NFL Red Zone isn't going to come back next season with the same price. It's getting increased even with all the ad money coming in.
Here's the problem. I talked a lot in September when we talked about chips and salsa and charging to go about wait until November. It's December, and we have ads on Red Zone. Maybe I was
Wait till January.
Wait till January. Yeah, there we go. That's what wait till January. Me personally, I don't care. I don't watch Red Zone that much, to be honest with you nowadays. If you're an adult, you get the multi-view and you watch all of them at the same time.
You get Sunday ticket.
Yeah, you get Sunday ticket.
Yeah.
Giants lock up the first pick. We touched on this. Is there really that big of a difference? I would have to see the boom and bust rates of like picks 1 versus the first pick versus like the next 5 or 6. Like we talk about getting the first pick as this big thing. Is it as big of a thing as it really seems to mean?
I mean, I don't know. The Panthers have a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, you got franchise short stack.
There you go. Kick a man while he's down. Bryce Young is always down.
He's not. Yeah. There you go, Connor. Jumping on.
Do you think Bryce Young is just like a chia pet, just slowly growing?
Never stops. Like his growth window is actually until like 42.
Or maybe he's retired, be like 6'8".
This guy keeps growing.
As far as the draft pick conversation goes, I think it varies year by year. I think I'm with you, Dylan, on the point where it doesn't matter that much. But I feel like some years there is a clear-cut number one prospect that multiple teams are going for, and there's not even a conversation. But more often than not, I feel like it doesn't matter that much.
Was that Caleb Williams this year, though?
See, I think it was Caleb Williams this year. I feel like there wasn't.
Okay.
Am I like having dumb football memory here? There wasn't that big of a discrepancy. Like people knew Caleb Williams was number one, right?
Yeah. That was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We touched on Hurts and the Commanders. Montgomery could be back for the divisional round. What doctor is he going to that tells him you're out for the season, and then you go to another doctor and it says, is that just like Dan Campbell putting on a doctor's uniform and scrubs and saying, yeah, you'll be back for the divisional round?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, or Dylan, we can get into a bigger discussion about the issues with the medical world.
That'll be solved in January. All right.
Next news and notes.
Did anybody see Pickens trying to fight a fan who posted a video from a year ago, like trashing him or something in the Instagram comments?
I did not know.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll send that in the group chat afterwards. It was very funny.
Pickens hater.
I mean, it was a year. Well, he's on my first team all talk. So
yeah.
Deontay Johnson released from the Ravens.
No, that was a dumb trade by the Panthers. No, they should have done that. It was
Panthers
stupid.
Should not have moved up 4 draft spots in day 3. Who would have said that's a dumb move? I think we were actually good about that, Connor. I think we actually.
Yeah, no, we're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to say. I thought we did well on that one.
Should I be keeping an eye out for him, scouting him for the first team all talk?
Yes.
I don't even know if he can talk.
Yeah, I was going to say he isn't even on a team right now.
Didn't
he's
we
eligible
say
to pick up Monday.
Minimum snap count for all talk team. So.
You're right. That would be.
We did talk about him in the snap count. Yeah.
Speaking of Steelers, Carter, we have some games to preview, don't we?
Oh, we're done with news and notes.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about some games then.
That was my attempt at a segue.
Yeah, well, I butchered that one.
No, I think it was on both of us, Santa.
It's amateur hour out here.
Yeah. It is kind of amateur.
We'll get
hour
it. Year
right
4,
here.
we'll get it.
Yeah, hey, year 10. Year 10 is ours.
Year 10, we'll get it. I have little Dylan sitting next to me right here. We'll be working on our segues.
He's like, I hope Dylan. I hope your kid. You know, whenever people have kids and like say you're a Carolina fan, and you have a kid, they grow up to be a Duke fan or whatever. I hope Dylan's kid becomes an Ohio State and bets overs nonstop.
My kid better not be betting in 10 years. Sneak on my FanDuel account.
Dylan's kid's in 2nd grade running a gambling ring under the swing set.
Yeah. Okay, I tell you what.
Well, let's put a theory out there, though.
Would you be kind of proud? I kind of would be proud a little.
If he was putting up sharp lines, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Dylan. If he sneaks onto your FanDuel account, you're like, where did this extra $300 come from? And then all of a sudden you're like, this mother effer hit Deebo Samuel first touchdown? What the?
But Daddy, I like the plus signs.
Still scoring first touchdown.
I like the plus signs, Dad.
This guy hit Marvin Harrison Jr. on the first touchdown? There we go.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Chiefs-Steelers. Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite on the road in Pittsburgh. Christmas Day, 1 p.m. Eastern time. The over-under's at 43.5. Dylan, I'm guessing you're going under on Christmas.
It's tough. I own the Chiefs on Christmas Day. We forget the Raiders' money line against the Chiefs on Christmas Day last year.
What's the number 2 rule of the show?
Always bet the Chiefs as an underdog?
Under a field goal, you got to take them.
I don't think that's ever. I don't think that's ever been a rule of the show.
I thought that was number 2.
You change the
underdog?
rules. The first rule is you always fade the Chiefs as a field goal or more favorite, which they're not, which absolutely is unfortunate. The second rule is you always bet the Chiefs as an underdog. Now, do we want to add a third rule?
No, because
third rule: don't ever believe Patrick Mahomes' injury reports ever, because his ankle looked fine.
Yeah, he's Superman. I think they're just faking it at this point.
Or just they have insane. They flew in some doctors from Germany, and they're like, "Hey,
same ones from the playoffs a couple years ago.
Kansas City's international waters. We can do whatever we want."
Reincarnate Mr. Miyagi and do the little
yeah, I guess, dude.
ankle sprain.
I'm scared to bet the Chiefs in this spot because this is going to be dumb football brain. Every single person's going to wake up Christmas morning and they're going to open up their account and go, "The Chiefs are 2.5. The Steelers just got whooped. The Steelers are." Why would I not take the Chiefs in this spot? I feel like we're going to see 90% of the bets on the Chiefs in this game. This might be the spot to go with the Steelers, and I don't like it.
Oh, Connor. I just heard an audible gasp from Connor's little square up there.
No, because Connor agrees.
He agrees.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I like the Steelers on Christmas Day. I do. This is a classic. Oh, but Mahomes actually isn't injured, and they looked great against the Texans, and look at that touchdown he rated, and the Steelers lost by 17 to the Ravens. It wasn't even close. Russ looked shitty, but in reality, this is a great spot for the Steelers. I think
Great
Steelers
spot.
at home as a dog. I've trashed on them all year, but I'm going to be on them. Christmas Day, Merry Christmas. I'm betting on Russell Wilson.
Chris Jones listed as questionable on PFF's injury report. Obviously, that could change. Pickens could play. They actually said it's an 80% chance that George Pickens plays. And this offense, the Steelers' offense, looks completely different when George Pickens is on the field. Now, he might cost you 15 yards 4 times a game because of stupid taunting penalties or unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. The Steelers are physically incapable of establishing the run anytime they try to run the ball. And I think that's mostly because of the offensive line. It's looked pretty weak for the most part, for the better part of the season. But the Steelers' rush defense, 3rd in overall rush efficiency allowed, 1st in rush defending QB scrambles, 5th in rushing inside the tackles, 4th in defending rushing outside the tackles. I don't think either team is going to be able to run the ball. I think it's going to be dink and dunk from the Chiefs and a varied pass attack from the Steelers. I actually kind of like the over here. I kind of like the
Merry
over in this game.
It's a Christmas miracle.
And I think the Steelers win.
And Dylan, guess what? This is
what
we did our over-under thing. I need you to take a first touchdown, and it's in this game.
Noah Gray.
No.
Steeler?
It's Pat Freiermuth.
Oh, Chiefs against tight ends.
Chiefs against tight ends. Dalton Schultz scored one. Okay, deal.
It's Pat Freiermuth.
Can we go anytime?
Of course.
Both.
It's Christmas.
Deal.
You have to sprinkle a little on first.
Deal. I'll do that.
All right, there we go. I love it.
All of a sudden, Dylan checks the receipts. It's like, man, why have I been so bad at gambling football? Why am I down so much money this year? 500 first touchdown plays, and he's hit one of them this year.
Well, if Dylan bets 500 first touchdown plays and hits one, Dylan's up because he's betting 500 to 1.
I'm in the black, baby. That's a good year.
450 of those are just straight from me and Carter in the group chat being like, Kamani Vidal has to be first touchdown this week.
I'm still chasing Blake
getting
Corum.
one. Yeah, he's getting one. Haskins getting that anytime was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was huge.
I am with you on the Steelers, though. Unable to establish the run game.
I need to clip that. That's going to be the new intro.
Unable to establish the run game.
No, you finish, Connor, and I have a question.
Watching them, it's like Najee Harris. You see his carries go from like 15, 16, 20. Now he's down to like 6 carries, 9 carries. They're kind of moving away from him. Jalen Warren actually out-touched him this past game. I think you're right, Dylan. I think there's going to be some points. I think Russell Wilson's going to air it out. And I do like the Steelers to win here. Can't believe I'm saying that. I can't believe it, but I think
it's going to feel gross on Christmas, and you go, I got to take the Steelers. You got it. And you feel like such an idiot. Every time you bet on Mahomes, And every time he has the ball in his hands, you do win a lot when you bet against him because they're not that great against the spread or anything. But when he has that ball in your hands, you are pooping your pants. Dylan, you
has the ball in your hands. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, balls in your hands. Connor, Steelers win this game. Super Bowl contenders?
Nope.
No.
Interesting. That's interesting.
No,
okay.
absolutely not. Have you seen it? Did you see the game yesterday? Probably not. But did you watch the game yesterday?
Yeah, I did. Now the question is, did you?
Of course I did.
Mr. Bar hopping on my birthday and posting Instagram stories with my
at
girlfriend.
not at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Wouldn't put it past you.
Oh, wow, so now we're attacking my personal character.
We're getting alcoholic stuff going. What's going on, Dylan?
Dylan listens to Little Lecrae and NF and thinks he's just the perfect guy over here. Jeez.
You should have Spotify Wrapped.
Connor's 2 Coors Light deep, and all of a sudden Dylan's like, that guy.
Yeah, he's like, he's clutching his pearls. He's like, you're not at the Christmas Eve service tonight.
I think Dylan's gone through 2 Coke Zeros on this podcast.
Connor's
he's probably got.
Yeah, Connor strikes me as a Bud Light guy.
No, I'm anti-Bud Light for no reason. I just don't like the
taste. Connor is. What's the fruitiest drink we can get on the menu?
Oh, here we go.
Yes,
no.
Daiquiri. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a little margarita Pink Whitney.
It was Jack and Coke last night and pickleback shots actually. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like the Steelers in this spot. I think Russell Wilson's going to be able to get the deep ball going, especially if Pickens is back. I almost lost my voice there. Pat Freiermuth is going to have a nice day. Give me the Steelers. We need to do a little Christmas parlay.
Does it concern you guys that Derrick Henry just ran for 162 yards on the Steelers defense?
No,
because the Chiefs can't get the run going. I thought Pacheco
hasn't had a good game since he's been back. Is he due for one? I don't know.
I don't think so.
They don't give him the opportunity. It infuriates me. It's Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's running back 1.
Are they saving Pacheco for the playoffs? Is that what it feels like?
Have to
because
be.
Why
they're saving everyone for the playoffs. Kelsey for the playoffs. Save them all.
They're saving themselves for the playoffs. Do you think their game prep is like so just? What do you think their game prep is like week to week? Do you think it's that intense at this point, or do you think it's like we're just gonna play our game?
Season starts in January.
Fumble Rooski.
Oh gosh! All right, Ravens Texans. Ravens are a 4-point favorite at the Texans. Tank Dell. Yikes, that was a bad injury. Over under is 46.5. OVER. I think we might get 2 Christmas overs, Dylan, because this Ravens secondary, I know Tank Dell's not playing, but CJ Stroud is primed to take advantage of this Ravens secondary.
If we do get 2 overs on Christmas Day, I think that's a sign from God. Like, we've been naughty all year. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys have been naughty all year. You're getting 2 games that are going over on Christmas Day.
What about a Nico Collins first touchdown? Would that
Michigan man? Michigan man.
Now 1 in 501 on first touchdown.
Michigan man. That would be very nice. So I think you're onto something here with the pass game. Both the Ravens pass the ball extremely well. They rank in the top 5 for just about every passing metric. The Texans don't defend it well. And conversely, the Ravens secondary is not that great. They haven't shown anything to us in the last 5 or 6 weeks to change that narrative. But their pass rush gets home. And the Texans offensive line, I'm looking at 22nd in pass blocking. I don't know. It's very hard. I want to fade the Texans like we've talked about all year. I don't think the Ravens are necessarily that good either. I would say over just because of the pass rates. I would lean the over, and I would also go Baltimore here. I don't think the Texans are that good. Yeah.
You're going Texans, Connor? Time to fade Baltimore?
No, I'm not going to Texans.
I was about to say.
I've been off the Texans all year. I've yet to see a convincing game from them. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the sophomore slump from C.J. Stroud. I don't know if it's the injuries to the wide receiver core. Joe Mixon's looked not great the last couple of weeks. I don't know what it is, but this Texans team doesn't strike me as a playoff threat. It's not like, I'm terrified to play C.J. Stroud and the Texans in the playoffs this year. And I think the Ravens are the better team. I think we're going to see that on Christmas. So I like the Ravens too.
My one issue about taking the Ravens in this spot is we talk about the Texans can become one-dimensional in the pass game when Joe Mixon can't get going, but I don't know how much that'll matter against this Ravens secondary. Look, I understand Russell Wilson wasn't great against that team, but without George Pickens, look at that wide receiver room. It's the worst in football, for being honest. And so Nico Collins, these guys, they're going to have success against the Ravens in the passing game. I mean, I like the over a lot. I I don't think I'm going to take a side in this one. I think Baltimore wins, but I think Texans cover, to be honest.
Really? Close game? It's a little bit of a letdown spot after a big win against Pittsburgh. Lamar finally, beating his demons of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and I think people might overestimate, the blowout of the Steelers and the Texans. And the Texans losing to the Chiefs and losing Tank Dell.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that's really going to matter. I think C.J. Stroud's going to have a big game. I think Texans cover, actually.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Ho.
We made it.
I do like the over, though. There should be some points.
Yeah, I like the over as well. Real quick, we have a Thursday game. We have a Boxing Day Seahawks versus Bears Classic. Hornets Wizards also the day after Christmas. Just FYI.
Calendar.
Seahawks are a 3.5-point favorite. We don't have to dive into this game much. This game could potentially be meaningless, Dylan.
I'm going Diabate first basket.
Oh,
you like that? You like that?
He's in the weeds, Carter.
Yeah, he's getting
like that, Carter?
I don't hate it.
Could it be a meaningless game? The Seahawks won't be eliminated.
Have the Rams haven't clinched yet, have they? The Rams just have to beat the Cardinals and they clinch, correct?
Well, 9-6. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
So, but you look at this game right now, the spread's 3.5. Why shouldn't the spread be more? The Seahawks have everything to play for. The Bears have nothing to play for. The Seahawks, I guess the point would be for the Bears is all the pressure's on them, no pressure on the Bears. But the Seahawks, this is an absolute must-win for them. Why is this line only 3.5?
Because Geno gift wraps possessions to the other team. You get the Seahawks in the red zone, Geno's going to throw a pick 1/3 of the time. And yeah, the Bears offense has struggled to move the ball recently, but they're going to get short fields. I really do feel like this is going to be a dogfight, weird game, probably low scoring. And I refuse to trust Geno Smith. That's why it's not more than 3.5. Geno Smith has been so inconsistent this year.
Okay. I think that's fair. Dylan, anything to add?
I think the only reason that it's as low as it is, and Connor was exactly right, you almost have to handicap for 2 turnovers from the Seahawks. You almost just have to at this point. And Geno Smith gets a lot of crap, or doesn't get a lot of crap for having the same issues Kirk Cousins did. That's the last thing I'm going to say about that.
All right. I love it. Let's make a Christmas parlay real quick.
Christmas parlay. Okay.
And this props, spreads, whatever you want in this thing. Dylan.
Give me Russell Wilson anytime touchdown.
Okay.
I want Nico Collins anytime touchdown. I think he gets one against this Ravens secondary.
I was just gonna make it a crazy parlay. I was gonna go Nico 2 touchdowns.
Nico 1 touchdown. You don't play the escalator as you're a sicko, then sure, put $5 on 2 touchdowns. But I'm going 1 for the play.
Okay, Nico Collins 1 touchdown. He took Russell Wilson, so it makes me. I don't want to take a lot of touchdowns in that Steelers game. I was going to get. Let's go Pat Freiermuth. Do you guys like receptions or yards more?
Receptions.
Receptions.
Okay, Pat Freiermuth receptions, whatever the line is whenever it comes out. That's the parlay. Anything else before we wrap up? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
did
holidays.
You guys make it through Did you guys make it through the don't get divorced weekend with all this football going on? How'd that work?
I did. Made it out alive.
We're doing okay. I don't know how it's going to go after this, but we're doing okay so far.
I think Christmas Day is going to be really tough. Like the weekend can be.
That is tough.
Yeah, but like Christmas Day and then NBA's on Connor. We're going to be in the weeds with the NBA stuff. So
big time weeds. It's going to be big time weeds.
Yeah, we're going to be sitting there and be like, hey, let's round robin the game's first baskets.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas to everyone listening.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you to all the listeners and everything. We gained a lot more listeners this year. Shout out to everyone that tunes in every week. And even if this is your first time, shout out. Thank you for listening. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody, you and your families. And let's hit a parlay. Let's watch some football. Let's watch some basketball. Let's have a great holidays. Dylan, anything before we go?
SeatGeek KarterKast.
Oh,
yes.
SeatGeek
Hot tub
KarterKast.
time.
Hot tub time machine. Dylan, are you gonna watch Hot Tub Time Machine in the hot tub?
No, I'm about to watch Carry On Netflix. Yeah, about to watch that.
Download SeatGeek, use code KarterKast, $20 off your first purchase. You're looking for a last-minute Christmas gift? We've got you covered. Use code KarterKast, create an account on SeatGeek, type in the code right when you're buying your tickets, $50 minimum purchase required. You get $20 off. You want Hornets tickets? Make sure you get in that lower bowl because you're going to need to hit that $50 mark. You get $20 off. Give them great Christmas present.
Yep.
We'll see y'all after Christmas. We're going to do a college football preview. We got a ton of stuff coming this week. Check it out on Thursday. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.